Now here I have drawn a production possibility schedule. Schedule means a table. So what does it show? It shows the quantity of commodity X and Y that can be produced. It shows the quantities of X and Y commodity that can be produced within the economy by, I said the resource is given over here, one resource, that is labor, by application of labor, and the labor supply is already fixed. The labor supply, that means labor amount is not increasing or decreasing. What will happen if laborers increased? Labor increase means the input is increasing, so the output can also be increased. Production of both the goods X and Y can be increased. So here we are taking that there is a given amount of labor and the labor supply is constant, it is not changing. Suppose if you have started work with 100 laborers, the 100 laborers continue to work during your phase when you are studying the PPC. So it shows, once again, this table is what? The table shows if the economy is producing X and Y commodity with given amount of labor, say 100, then what is the production possible of X and Y? And what are the combination of X and Y that you can get in the country, inside the country? So what we see that if suppose in the first case what you can see 0 and 10. What does it mean? It means there is no production of X. Why this happens? It means that no labor you are using or no input you are allocating in the production of X. You are allocating the maximum labors, entire labor in the production of Y. So if you engage all the input in the production of Y, what is the maximum Y that you can attain? That is given to you. So now in this video we will be understanding how to draw the production possibility curve. So this axis, let us measure the X commodity quantity, and in this axis let us measure the Y commodity quantity. So if all the labor is used, all the given labor is used in production of only Y, if all the labor are devoted to only Y, there is zero production of X, there is no X produced, and only Y is produced. And what is the maximum limit? That is 10 units of Y is produced. Now what happens? You are slowly wanting to increase the production of X. Just now said that a producer tries to produce not one quantity, rather it wants to produce both X and Y to satisfy the human wants, because humans are not satisfied if only one good is produced. So now the producer thinks of producing both. That means the input is rare and limited. 100 amounts of labor is given. So in order to produce even one more unit, if you want to increase the production of X by 1 unit, then you need to reduce or cut down labor from Y, from production of Y. So laborers who are engaged in Y production, some of them are brought and shifted for production of X. So you can increase X by 1, but that results in a decrease in the Y production. Now see, Y cannot be produced 10 because your resource limitation does not allow you. You are shifting labor from there to here. So how can you produce the previous quantity? It will fall definitely. So now what happens? For increasing X by 1 unit, the production of Y has fallen to 9. So the Y has fallen by 1 unit. Now, so the first point is this in the Y axis when you are producing 0x and only Y. So the point will be in the Y axis itself. And what is the coordinate point? We write the X coordinate first and then the Y. So for this point the coordinate is X production 0, Y production is 10. what does the coordinate show you? It shows if the country is producing at this point, what is the amount of X production and what is the amount of Y production. It gives you the quantity or combination of X and Y. Now, when the economy is trying to produce 1 unit of output of X, it has to reduce Y because the same labors are adjusted here and there to increase the production. So, labors are taken away from Y. So, the point occurs over here, 1 and 9. So, this coordinate point, if you want to write, it is 1, 9. X is 1, Y is 9. So, it shows that the point shows it's a combination of two products X and Y, and in what quantities it shows you. So, the economy can also be at this point with the given amount of labor. They can make a choice whether to not produce X and only produce Y, or whether to indulge the labor, use the labor in such a way that you can produce at least 1 of X and 9Y. Now, if you want to increase X by 1 more unit, so what happens if you want to increase X? Again, you are shifting the labor from Y production to X production. So, Y production falls to 7. So, suppose this is 8, this is 7. So, the point is somewhere over here and the combination shows you 2, 7. So, again you have seen that for increasing X, you are taking away labor. Labor is limited. Labor amount or input amount is not changing. It is given 100. So, in order to increase X production, you are taking away labor from Y. So, Y's production is falling and X is increasing. Now, if you want to produce 1 more unit of X, that is 3 units, again see the Y's production have fallen to 4. So, somewhere over here 3, 4. And the last combination that you can see, that if you want to increase 1 more unit of X, what happens? Y production falls to 0. That means in order to produce 1 more unit of X, you are basically taking the help of all the input, channelizing the inputs, allocating the inputs in the production of X. So, Y production falls to 0. So, what happens? Maximum X is produced 4 and Y falls to 0. So, the point is on the X axis, because here there is no only production of X and no production of Y. Just like the starting point where there is only production of Y, no production of X, and slowly we are taking away labor from production of Y. So, Y is falling and X is increasing, and that is the maximum limit that you can produce of X and no Y, when no Y is produced. Now, if I join these points, so these are the different combinations of the two goods that can be produced inside the country with the given amount of only one type of input. So, one type of input, it is already given. Two goods are produced, it is already said in the assumption. Then, what are the points in which production is possible? So, the points are all these. These are the different combinations of X and Y that the economy or a country can choose for. For example, the country can choose to produce this 1X and 9Y by using the same labor. The country can choose the point 3, 4, X production 3, Y production 4. Or the country can choose these two extreme points where there is no production of X, only Y produced, and here no Y is produced, only X produced. Now, what is this production possibility curve? So, this is the table given of production possibility. I have used the table in order to construct this graph. These are the points which are possible for a country to produce at these points. So if I draw a line joining all the points, if I draw a line joining all the points, the curve is becoming crooked a bit. We obtain a curve like this. Okay, the curve is not exactly like this because of the space issues in the board. The curve actually looks like this. Okay, so if you plot the different points, you will get that the production possibility curve looks like this. If you plot it with the help of actual measurement, you can definitely achieve this. So the production possibility curve looks like this. So this curve is only known as PPC, which shows you how much production is possible inside the country, and by joining all the points, different points where production is possible, you get this curve. So that joining line is always known as locus. This joining line, the line that joins all the points, is the locus. So what is PPC? PPC is the locus or the joining line, which shows, what does it shows? The different points of production or different combinations of the two goods that can be produced at particular points. So PPC or the locus shows different combinations of two goods. Here you have taken X and Y that can be produced within the economy. So PPC shows, it is a locus of or the joining line showing all the different points. The points correspond to a particular combination of output of X and Y. So it shows the different combinations of the two goods X and Y that can be produced within a economy or the country. And in the next video, I will be doing the properties of PPF curve.